at what employees look for in an organization, I think the first and most important thing that employees look for is the values of the organization, which sort of like builds the culture in the organization. The second is the opportunities that they have and they get to learn and develop themselves. And thirdly, I think what the employees look for in an organization is the reward and recognition for the good contributions that they do. So these three things I would say are the three key things that employees look for in an organization. So when it comes to retaining talent, the most important thing and the first thing that you need to do is to identify talent. You need to be having a good process and a system to identify the talent in your teams as well as in your organization. The second thing would be to set them the right direction, give them the empowerment and the courage to go in line with that direction. The third thing I would say is to mobilize talent. You identify the talent, give them opportunities to work in different areas in the organization so that they learn to work with different teams, different contexts, and gives them an opportunity to grow faster. In the current context, especially living in Sri Lanka, I think you are bombarded with information, a lot of noise coming to clutter your mind as to how things are progressing, what's happening around you. It's very important to be able to get rid of the noise and screen out the right information and data to be able to take the right information and data in to drive your decisions, and also think positively with a positive mindset, because we need to have that positivity come out of the negative things that we keep hearing day to day, and get out of the negative things as much as possible and think of the positive side of things. The current times as well as what we are heading into in terms of where we would be in a 3 to 6 months time, I think is going to be a new experience for us. Not a situation that we've been before or a situation that we've tackled before. But I think the positives that we need to take is the fact that 2 years back when COVID struck us, it was again totally new. We did not know how to tackle a pandemic situation like that, but thankfully we were able to survive despite the impacts. We've come along and gone through that challenge. So likewise, I think knowing that the situation is not going to be great in the next 3, 6 or even longer periods of time, I think it's important for us to plan. The most important thing is to plan. And when it comes to planning, be ready with multiple scenarios to be able to pick and choose depending on the context that will unfold with the changes in the economy, in the political situation in the country as well. So most important thing is to plan, have multiple scenarios ready, and pick and choose the right scenario at the right point in time. One of the most defining moments in my career is when I took the decision to join supply chain. I was working in finance and IT during my early parts of the career, but I decided to join as a management trainee of supply chain at Nestle. And it was a challenging thing, but a challenge that I took because I have not had experience or any education in the stream of supply chain. But I'm grateful and thankful that I was able to join Nestle. For me, it was like joining MBA, executive MBA in supply chain, which made me learn, develop the fundamentals, and grow to who I am today. So that I think was one of the key career-defining decisions that I've taken in my career. I think I've been fortunate in my career to be a part of multinational organizations for a large span of time. For the last 15 years, I've been working in multinational organizations in supply chain. And one of the career shifts that I've done recently is to move from multinational organizations to a local organization. And what made me do that, actually, I would like to phase my career into 3 areas. One is to learn, second is to earn, and third is to return. So I think this is the phase of my career where I have the opportunity to return to the country as well as the people of the country in terms of the learnings that I've had in organizations which are much more developed in supply chain, in the form of multinationals, the learnings that I've got to transfer it into the people and the organizations in terms of processes and practices, and develop processes and people in line with what I've learned over the last 15, 16 years. So for someone who's aspiring on a supply chain career, the first thing would be to strengthen on your fundamentals. I think the opportunities to learn in the current context is much greater than the times that, I moved into a supply chain career. So I would advise to strengthen your fundamentals in terms of learning through external learning programs, to courses that you can participate in. At the same time, the experience that you gain while working in supply chain. Second thing is to be open to change, because change is something that you need to be able to embrace when you are a supply chain professional, more than any other profession, I would say. The third thing is to develop your stakeholder management skills. Supply chain, for me, when you come into a leadership position in supply chain, is all about stakeholder management. So develop your stakeholder skills, stakeholder management skills, which will definitely help you to grow with your fundamentals and be a good supply chain professional as you go along.